Been ahead of my peers, this used to pedal the slowest. Now you pedal the fastest in a circular motion. Fame moved up in weight, ran out of opponents, so it's time to...
She got Famous Athletics. Make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss a video like this. Throw that straight left down the pipe. Make sure you hit that like button and share this with anybody you talk boxing with, or any type of sports. Famous Athletic, the dopest channel on the planet. Now that we got that out the way, so it looks like we got the purse bid situation handled out with Danny Garcia and Shawn Porter, and it's looking like we got a fight coming this fall. We don't know the date. They saying no, August 25th, and they also saying it might happen in September. Until the date is officially announced, when the official fight comes out, when PBC puts up the banner, then that's the date we'll go with. But until then, it's all he say, she say until it really happens. So with that being said, we got two former welterweight champions. You had the IBF champion and Showtime Shawn Porter, and you had the former WBC champion Danny Garcia. You know, this matchup has been brewing for a couple years. It looks like Danny Garcia was the recipient in the fight who never wanted the fight, but now it's like now or never. You know, Danny Garcia has been transitioning since he fought who? Peterson. So he fought Peterson at what, 43? Then he fought Paulie, if I'm not mistaken. Stopped Paulie Malignaggi. We already know the caliber of Paulie Malignaggi. Then he fought Robert Guerrero, which was you know, pretty, to me, it was a pretty competitive fight. Then he fights who else he fights? Then he fights Sammy Vargas, if I'm not mistaken. Some to that extent, knock homie out. Then he fights Keith Thurman. Then after Keith Thurman, who he fights? So after Keith Thurman, he gets in there with Brandon Rios and stops Brandon Rios. And now it's put up a shut up. Now he has to fight Showtime Shawn Porter. The fight that people wanted to see about 2 years ago, which he now finally possibly getting, you know. So with that being said, here's my take on the fight. You got Danny Garcia, a guy who had a great resume at 140, and now he's in the big leagues at 147. So at 147, to me, he hasn't shown real power. He stopped Paulie Malignaggi. We know what type of guy Paulie Malignaggi is. Come on now. You see what Shawn Porter did to Paulie Malignaggi. So, he stopped Paulie Malignaggi. He stopped Sammy Vargas. Come on now. We've seen what happened with Sammy Vargas, with Free Smoke Jr., and as well as Danny Garcia. You seen what they did to him. And Brandon Rios. You seen what Timothy Bradley, the feather-fisted Timothy Bradley, did with Brandon Rios. So if you think that Danny Garcia knockout was impressive over Brandon Rios, you gotta be kidding me. It's just like saying Shawn Porter victory over Andre Berto was impressive. No, it was not, because we know what type of caliber fighter they are. Now, style matchup, I like Danny Garcia's style way better than I like Shawn Porter's style. Way better. But let's be real now. A lot of people, to me, is kind of leaning towards Danny Garcia, and I know why. It's just because the reason why I said it's because they living off his resume at 140. They still think he has that no left hook power, but at 147 he hasn't shown the top-notch power. Let's be honest, let's be real with ourselves, and let's not sit up here and act like Danny Garcia has beat the best guys at 147. He stopped 3 guys, and the caliber opponents they were, or they are, was not up to par. So, like I said, he stopped 3 out of 5 opponents, took 1 L, and power just isn't there. You know, let's not get beside ourselves and say, oh, he got the no-look left hook, because at the end of the day, he couldn't keep Robert Guerrero off of him. He couldn't keep Keith Thurman off of him. You get what I'm saying? He couldn't keep Keith Thurman off of him. So, with that being said, people think Shawn Porter's style is atrocious. And I personally don't like no Shawn Porter style. You know, it's too much smothering, it's too much in your chest. It's no type of space where you could be effective. But I still think this beats Danny Garcia's style. Because if you look, and I don't want to do triangle theories, but look, Shawn Porter versus Kell Brook. Kell Brook is a much bigger guy. And Kell Brook was hitting Porter with laser right shots. And what he had to do to neutralize Shawn Porter, held him. He held him over 70 times in that fight. Much bigger guy. Couldn't keep him off for 12 rounds. He couldn't keep Porter off for 12 rounds. He had to hold him like he was his girlfriend for 12 rounds. And you got Keith Thurman hitting Shawn Porter with some of the most flush shots. And what happened? He got rocked. His knees buckled. And what happened? Porter grabbed Keith Thurman, held him down when his knees got buckled, and still stood up in his chest. Keith Thurman definitely hits harder than Danny Garcia. I truly believe that. I truly believe Keith Thurman hits harder than Danny Garcia. And if Keith Thurman couldn't keep Showtime Shawn Porter off him, and Kell Brook couldn't keep Showtime Shawn Porter off him, and Andre Berto couldn't keep Showtime Shawn Porter off him, and Adrian, and all these guys who fought Shawn Porter was in a dog fight. None of these guys could keep Shawn Porter off him. Shawn Porter doesn't take a step back. That's the thing. So now we're going to get on to the Adrian Broner situation. Let's say Adrian Broner knocked him down. Danny Garcia never's been knocked down. Correct. But Adrian Broner still lost that round after he knocked Shawn Porter down. And what happened to him after he knocked Shawn Porter down? Shawn Porter was all up in Adrian Broner's chest. Get what I'm saying? Porter doesn't take a step back. And if Danny doesn't get a gift decision, I think this will go to Shawn Porter just by roughing him up. And that you got to remember, Danny Garcia cuts easily, Shawn Porter cuts easily. So this is going to be a battle of, it looks like a 50-50, and I can see it going to the scorecards, but as far as actual work rate, I think he will outwork Danny Garcia and get Danny Garcia his second loss on his resume. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But I know pretty much majority of people going to be like, nah, man, Danny Garcia is going to beat him because his style is better. I hate Shawn Porter. It doesn't matter if you hate Shawn Porter's style or not. We talking about who's going to be the victorious one when it comes down to punches landed, the most effective, the most aggressive, ring generalship, imposing their will. And Danny Garcia is not going to be able to do that against Shawn Porter because Porter doesn't take a step back. Now, with that being said, I like Danny Garcia way better than I like Shawn Porter's style of fighting. But I'm going to be realistic and say Shawn Porter doesn't have the power to keep... Danny Garcia doesn't have the power to keep Shawn Porter off of him. Everything's a sport, so it's my sportsmanship award, and just like that. She got Famous, and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel at Famous Athletics.